Alrighty, well, good morning, good evening, and hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at SpeedGaming for the continuation of our Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Mentor and Mentee tournament. We have a beautiful Saturday morning. My name is Marion, and I'll be your host for today. And to start off this wonderful Sunday evening, we've got yet another Reed Whaley seed. Oh, if anything's quadruple quadraxis requirement was anything to go off of, today is bound to be full of mystery and most likely another required quadraxis. But who knows? We're going to find out. Today is a new day. We could have something quite easy, or we could have something even more cursed with all 3 temple bosses required. Though it's bound to happen one day. So get your coffee, get yourself a bottle of water. Remember to stay hydrated. Sit back, relax, and we've got a wonderful race to start up the beautiful evening. With that being said, we're running our standard settings for the tournament. We're going with a main energy controller with Violet Translator, but we do have some runners agreements today. And those agreements are as followed. We are running New Patcher, and multiplayer items are shuffled into the pool. Multiplayer items, we've got unlimited missiles, unlimited beam ammo, and double damage. That's the last one. And we appear to be having a time delay on Avvina's side. It doesn't appear the countdown has started for them. That's interesting. Oh, there we go. Alright, starting off, we got a missile expansion and power bombs on task. Well, that's an interesting start location at all. Well, at least we know where main power bombs are. That gets us immediate access into compound. Oh, but first things first, we do have to go fight everybody's favorite Alpha Splinter, Albert. We can't do anything else until Albert's been defeated. And we appear to have a frozen stream on Sasquatch's side. Well, that's a great way to start this race. There we go. Now we got this thing set up. Now we're back on proper time. Alrighty, so we are on New Patcher. A little bit interesting. So, Trooper Security Station is locked. We do need power bombs and/or space jump screw attack to access compound. Good news is we have knowledge on where power bombs are. That's going to be fun. It is on Temple Assembly Site, which we need bombs or space jump to logically get. So we know power bombs are locked behind either bombs or space jump. Well, we're bound to find one of those relatively quickly. Usually it's bombs or screw attack. We could use an extended screw attack. Oh, it's going to be a fun Sunday today. Oh, but as we come up here to Albert, what do we hope to find? Well, finding the missile launcher will put our missiles into logic. We could go for space jump here to get the power bombs on task to in turn go to compound. We could find morph ball bombs. That would make going through Aegon Waste a little bit easier and access Dark Aegon for the first loop. But let's find out what Albert truly has today. Oh, well, just look at that. We've got our first E. Although an E-tank 2 minutes in is a little worrying. What Dark World logic do we have today? Oh, great. We've got our second energy tank right there on Transport B access. And we do see some comments being made about the colors. Yes, because we are running with the Randomizer program, runners have the option to customize their suit color and their user interface. As we see on the left with Avvina's silver suit, and on the right with Sasquatch's crimson red UI. Reds can be a little bit hard to read, but not impossible. But as far as suit colors go, we only have the 4 multiplayer suits to pick from. But it's nice to have the option. So there's those main power bombs that we saw earlier off of the main energy hints. And we're going to use our missiles for the storage cavern, getting yet another missile expansion. We'll always take more missiles. And here we see the first trick of the run being done by Sasquatch. We're going for task jump. Or task does not stand for tool assisted speed run. In this case, it's for temple assembly site. So what we're doing here, we're going for a slope jump on top of this little rock pedestal. Now, by getting a slope jump and holding down the L button, we're locking our position, getting some extra height. And if we get it just right, we can just barely clip on top of that platform. We really want those main power bombs. That'll get us into Dynamo Chamber and also get communications area out of the way. Oh, but nice try by Sasquatch. Unfortunately, we have no luck. Avvina's going for a different method. We're going for a scan dash. Now, scan dash does give us some extra height, especially with a bunny hop. Essentially, we are scanning into the ground and then jumping off of the ground to go for an extended dash. By jumping off the ground, we get a little bit of extra height and momentum. So while Avvina attempts to get this jump landed, Sasquatch continues towards transport to Aegon while we get information that a cursed lake has a beam-related upgrade. Now, beam-related for a cursed lake, those very well could be our super missiles. Oh, and great job there by Avvina. Got the dash. So now we have power bombs in our inventory, while information keys to Dark Torvus Temple are in Dark Aegon, and bad locations. And I told you Space Jump was going to be coming shortly because of those power bombs. So there's our Space Jump. Sasquatch is making a detour back to get those power bombs, while Avvina uses those power bombs to go not towards Compound, surprisingly. We're going for Aegon Wastes. Well, because we have those power bombs, that'll open up Compound. We get Dynamo Chamber, Communications Area, and GFMC Compound's crate item. Then we could go underneath the safe station and transport A access. So we got a handful of stuff we can do while we're still here in Temple Grounds. Would it be worthwhile? Yeah, it could be, but we don't have Jump Guardian defeated to actually get on top of the ship's item, and we don't have logical access out of Transport A access, as once we go to that safe station, we need Emerald to logically get back out, or we need Dark Visor and Seekers. And with how Reed Seat's been going, Dark Visor and Seekers are usually extremely late. Oh, but I misspoke about the Aegon keys. They're Aegon, Dark Torvus, and Light Torvus, with a missile expansion hiding on Dynamo Chamber. Oh, Avvina's using that space jump, decided to take a backtrack towards GFMC Compound. And, oh, Sasquatch, you probably should have scanned that before getting it. Oh, we just got Cannonball. Now, Cannonball's nice to have. It does give us a boost ball function, at least for half pipes. Oh, but having Cannonball right now, that's interesting. There's not much Cannonball's going to allow us to do. Oh, and hello, Ing Reliquary with a life support system. Well, we know Ing Reliquary is dead, as it cannot be a suit. But as far as Cannonball goes, we can use that to our benefit when we get to the Jump Guardian Loop in Dark Aegon. Except that's not going to help us, because in order to get to that section, we need to use the Kinetic Orb Cannon to get through portal access. So that Cannonball's most likely going to be deleted soon, because we really don't want to leave that Jump Guardian Loop behind. Now, unless we find supers and Dark Beam and everything else to get through Warrior's Walk, oh, we'll find out. Yeah, you're correct, Wyvern. We could go through Dark Labs, but that's out of the way. And we'd have to get supers to go through Warrior's Walk. Now, can I interest you in another missile expansion here on GFMC's crate item? Well, we're definitely going to take it. That brings our grand total up to 25 with a successful item duplication. And we're going to use these power bombs to break the gate in Trooper Security Station for Avvina, going right into Compound, following just a few seconds behind Sasquatch. Speaking of Sasquatch, we're going to use those power bombs to break into Grand Wind Chamber. We'll take a peek at what's hiding on top here today. Will this be a useful item, or will this be absolutely useless? Let's find out. Oh, that's Oh, is that a neat tank or is that a visor? Not that possibly light ammo expansion. Doesn't appear to be too useful. Oh, Avvina's deciding to forego Grand Wind Chamber. And we're going to head right for the security station. At that security station, we're going for the Transport A elevator. Oh, and look at that. K-Rar's decided to join us to curse us with an Airy. Well, K-Rar, you haven't missed much. We have main power bombs, though. Power bombs being on Temple Assembly Site. So outside of that, not much has been found yet. Oh, and Sasquatch is going for an extended dash to try to skip Grand Wind Chamber and go for Wind Chamber Gateway. And that's right, we did find Cannonball on Communications Area with a ball upgrade underneath the save station. And hello, Coiler. Collier? Oh, I'm terrible at names. Oh, but look at that. At least we found Boost Ball. A Boost Ball's good to have. And Annihilator's even better. Looks like Sasquatch going for the extended dashing is going to pay off quite nicely by allowing some Dark World access. Although we do have to do an extended dash back, as we can't just jump over. And unfortunately for Avvina, we do have to take a save warp since we cannot progress out of the save station. And unfortunately, Sasquatch is just not getting the proper angle. He's curved way too far to the left. And the second we say that, Sasquatch gets it immediately afterwards. Well, that's the best way of getting someone across with a good trick. Tell them you're doing it wrong. As pointed out in chat before. Who said that? That was Rico. Yeah. Rico, your words live true today. Alright, so we've got our second energy tank and transport B access. Early Annihilator Beam for Sasquatch is going to be extremely useful to get through the light and dark portals. That'll help out tremendously when we get into Dark Labs. Although granted, we still need Dark Beam to make a Dark Labs play worth it. And we really want Light Beam for it. So it's not going to help terribly much. But at least we can use it for a handful. And some early damage. Alright, so now that Sasquatch is out, it's time to head into everybody's favorite early game section, the Aegon Wastes. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and keep on moving forward. Sasquatch is making a smart play of going to Transport A access to get underneath the elevator before continuing, while Avvina has already done that loop, except they are missing the information for Annihilator on Wind Chamber Gateway. Now, be warned that Annihilator is technically out of logic. We need either Light Beam, Super Missiles, and Amber Translator to make that work. Or we could skip Amber if we just get Light Beam and Supers. Or we would need Screw Attack. And we're going to take a peek here. Oh, Avvina does not appear to be happy with whatever's in Mining Plaza. Hopefully it's nothing important, but because of those shots of frustration, I'm betting it's something good. Take your guesses on what's on Mining Plaza below, chat. While we use this time to go get our Morph Ball bombs hiding on not portal access, that's mining station access. And because we did activate a kinetic orb cannon, Rico is correct, we do lose Cannonball. So sacrificing Cannonball for an item check, and this check having bombs, that's okay. We can continue forward without Cannonball. Now, Cannonball does a number for us, although none of those features really mattered because we lost it so fast. But if we do decide to go out of bounds for Cannonball, that would get us Invulnerability and Morph Ball, get us a mock Boost Ball feature if we didn't already have Boost Ball, And we could do 500,000 hit points of damage per successful frame. None of those really applied, since again we lost it so quickly, but its cannonball does have its uses. And speaking of use, remember those power bombs we got early on Temple Assembly Site? Well, here we see Bomb Guardian, and here we don't see Bomb Guardian. Power bombs against early game bosses do extensive damage. Now, there is a slight note to remember with Bomb Guardian. Bomb Guardian has to be in an attacking state for that power bomb to work. So that's why we'll stay in place, have Bomb Guardian charge us, and then lay the power bomb. Or we could just roll up to Bomb Guardian, let it grab us, and then lay a power bomb beforehand. Either way, Bomb Guardian has to be attacking. And we're going to say hello to everybody's favorite Sentinel. Outside of O'Lear, we're going to see Ivok. Although just a missile expansion today, so we're not going to worry about it. And no Amber Translator to get the hint here. Hopefully this information is not required currently. We can reroute it later on when we find Dark Beam to do Mine Shaft, or Light Beam for Sand Canyon. Either way, we'll route it back in later. But right now, both runners are really wanting to take care of Bomb Guardian and start making some plays towards Jump Guardian and the Dark Aegon loop. As once Jump Guardian's defeated, that'll get us access for GFMC's crate item. We get a handful of other item checks, and we can also do the Hive Chamber loop once Bomb Guardian's defeated. Well, but first things first, looks like Sasquatch is going for Bomb Guardian first, and then we'll do Jump Guardian afterwards. Avvina's just a couple of minutes ahead, just about a minute ahead. Where was Cannonball? Cannonball was on communications area, just before GFMC compound. Oh boy, and we get an Ing Hive key. Why do we have a Quadraxis key this early? Do we have to fight quad today? Well, it's entirely possible. Especially after what happened Saturday. And Sasquatch going for the quick kill on Bomb Guardian in the attacking state, and Bomb Guardian has been defeated. Fantastic work. Yes, hello KR, I see you. Alright, let's make our way into Portal Terminal, and let's get to Dark Aegon. Now, because we have Space Jump, we're going to skip this entire puzzle. So normally, we'd have to go through this entire puzzle, skipping between all sides of the room, left and right, just to destroy all 3 sand blocks to activate the portal. Well, because we have Space Jump, we can just go towards the last sand block, as thankfully the game only checks for the 3rd block being defeated. It doesn't care about the first 2, it just wants to know if you've destroyed the last one. So it's a neat little time save. And yes, Reed, our one and only great friend and organizer, Reed Whaley, has generated today's race, and is most likely generating all the others today. Stay tuned to find out more. And it appears Avvina's audio is just a little bit low. We're going to fix that in just a minute. But first things first, we're going to take a peek. Oh, hello. We got a suit on top of Crossroads today. Well, that's good information to have for later. An interesting route choice. Sasquatch is assigned to not go for Jump Guardian, and in turn, go deeper into labs through Central Mining Station. Very interesting thought here. Yeah, we do have boost balls, so we could go get that suit. Except the problem is we don't have any light beam or dark beam to activate the portals. We need dark beam to activate the portal to Crossroad to in turn get that suit. So sadly, Avvina's going to be locked out of that suit for just a little bit longer. Now Sasquatch could go get it since we have charge beam for Annihilator. And speaking of something useful, Amber Translator. Amber Translator on Transit Station, Transport Center. Now, Amber's definitely going to be useful to us. We get some translator hints. And the first one is telling us Amorbus has a Sky Temple key. Okay, well, we know we've got to fight Amorbus today. Okay, well, unfortunately, we don't have anything to fight Amorbus with. We need either all three keys, or we need to be confident with some out-of-bounds shenanigans. The out-of-bounds is not recommended at all, especially in these settings, but it's an option if we want to do it. And we've got another hint. What does this hint tell us on top of Mining Station A? A Morph Ball system is in Transport A access. Now that hint is good if we went for Aegon instead of diving into Temple Grounds further. So good hint, yes, just not in this scenario. Oh, and hello, we've got an Emerald Translator locked behind Amber on Sand Cache. Oh, and we welcome Jungle and a raid party of 4. Welcome and thank you for joining us here today. Jungle, it's always good to see you. All right, so Emerald on Sand Cache. Because Emerald allows us to get that boost ball off of Transport A's save station, we now have logical boost ball checks. In turn, we could go for sand processing, except sand processing's on the other side of labs, and we got a little bit of a journey. And I told you we were going to route in Aegon Energy again. Oh, we're not going to get that at all. Amorbus has a grapple beam. Yeah, no, we are never going to fight Quad to get a grapple beam. No. Unless Screw Attack is on some ridiculously difficult location, it's extremely unlikely we would ever fight Quad for it. Yes, Tumos could have something. That's a fair point. We're celebrating a little early. Or we could have a grapple beam locking Screw Attack. Alright, so good information on these Amber Hints by Avvina. Really good information to have. Meanwhile, Sasquatch is continuing through Aegon Labs. We're going right ahead towards Dark Samus 1, and in turn, we're going to see what's on Storage D, and what's up here on Bioenergy. With another hint, oh, Screw Attack is 4 rooms away from Aegon Transport Access. Now that's all the way back in Temple Grounds near the Aegon entrance elevator. So what's exactly 4 rooms away from it? Nope, you're on the wrong side, Avvina. That's the Sanctuary elevator. Oh, that's got to be the Hive Chamber loop. That's got to be Hive Chamber. That's the little hallway by the Aegon entrance elevator right there. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hive Chamber B has Screw Attack. Or possibly, yeah, it's Hive Chamber B. Fantastic. Well, at least we know we can get that immediately. Avvina being smart, taking a safety save, while Sasquatch has funds with lasers. Yep, so effectively, Grapple Beam is absolutely useless. We have information on where Screw Attack is, so yes, number, you're correct. Grapple Beam is completely worthless. But using Boost Ball here in Sand Processing is the exact opposite, as we've just found another E-Tank. 3 E-Tanks, 24 minutes into the run. Yeah, we'll definitely take that. That'll help us out greatly when we get to Jump Guardian Loop. But before we do that, we gotta fight everybody's favorite boss, Dark Samus. Here you see her, and, well, we're not going for the Power Bomb strat. Looks like Sasquatch might be out of Power Bombs. Well, so we're just going to use Annihilator. Now, we don't have any dark ammo to really use Annihilator, but thankfully there's a backup strat we can do with Charge Beam. If we charge the beam, it will allow us to fire a singular regular shot, so we can use that to our advantage by spamming Dark Samus, although a little slowly, but it's better than doing the entire fight normally. Yep, and we got our first Sky Temple key today, STK number 4 on Trial Tunnel. Now, was doing Dark Samus worth it? Do we have anything here today on Storage D? Oh, we've got a multiplayer item. It's either double damage or unlimited beam ammo. Uh-oh. Sasquatch, you've sort of soft-locked yourself. You've got to do a trick to get out. Now, normally we would need Screw Attack or Dark Beam to open the crystal, but thankfully there is a trick we can do to get out. So 2 tricks happening at the same time. We'll start with Sasquatch. Fantastic job doing it first try. We did a bomb space jump into an instant unmorph. By doing an instant unmorph, we have a 3-frame window to input a space jump. And if we jump in that 3-frame window, we get extra height, and we can land on top of one of the pedestals and just jump out through the glass. As for Avvina, we are currently shooting missiles and charge beam at a statue because they're not a fan of architecture. But no, in fact, for that, Jump Guardian's hitbox is spawned in front of that statue. So what Avvina can do is we can enter Jump Guardian's chambers here in Judgment Pit, go up to the statue, and sort of pseudo-kill Jump Guardian through that hitbox. Thankfully, that hitbox has an internal flag where it cannot kill Jump Guardian. It'll always have 1 hit point remaining. So we can start the fight. And thank you, Jump Guardian. We'll definitely take a light beam for our troubles today. Although that's pretty sad to see, because light beam would have been so good to have for Jump Guardian skip. Unfortunately, we can't do it. But at least we have light beam. Now that's good to know. As for Sasquatch, we do have what we need to enter Dark Aegon Labs. Problem is, we don't have a way to get it back out due to the lack of Dark Beam and Light Beam for the doors. So we really don't want to take that portal. So what Sasquatch can do, I'd strongly recommend we go backwards and we go back for Jump Guardian Loop. And we really want that Light Beam. Now, as for Avvina, they've got 2 options they can do. Either go into labs or dive towards Hive Chamber B for Screw Attack. Personally, I'd say go for Screw Attack. That way you have it, and you can use it to make your life a lot easier in labs. And then once we have Screw Attack, and since we have Light Beam, now we're starting the hunt to figure out where Dark Beam is. But because we have Light Beam and Logical Power Bombs, this pushes us heavily towards Sanctuary Fortress. It's really trying to tell us that something useful is on Spider's Treasure. And with Spider's Treasure, we have 3 items that we can get off the Sanctuary Elevator here in Aegon. We've got Culling Chamber, although that needs Spider Ball to get. Hall of Combat Mastery, which technically you need Spider Ball for, except we can do a trick to bypass it. And then we have Hazencliff, which just needs Light Beam. So I would suspect if Dark Beam's not found within that loop, then most probably you're going to find Spider Ball. And Spider Ball would be a little bit of a help, not terribly so, but it would be nice to have. But we really want Dark Beam. That way we could dive deeper into Torvus. If not Dark Beam, Seekers would also get us into Torvus, as we do have Light Beam to get into Underground Tunnel. We can't really do much, though. We get Torvus Grove, Meditation Vista, and Underground Tunnel, but then we're locked from progression due to a super lock and a Dark Beam door. So there's a handful of options that Avvina has. As for Sasquatch, though, we're going to continue forward through Aegon, going for the Jump Guardian loop. We're going to do the same thing that Avvina did. Yep, as long as the third sand block is destroyed, this puzzle will be completed. Yep, so it looks like Avina's going right into not hall. We're going right for the hive chamber section. Now, we have two items here: hive chamber A and B. We know hive chamber B has our screw attack because of the hint on mining plaza. But hive chamber A, we don't know. It could be anything. And thankfully, we're able to just scan this gate backwards, use a missile to blow open both locks at the same time, and continue forward. Sasquatch, on the other hand, they're going to see that suit on Crossroad and make an immediate backtrack to go get it. They have Boost Ball, and they did a trick to get Annihilator Beam early. So because we have Annihilator, we can activate both. We can activate that Dark Portal on top of Transport Center and get that suit a lot easier than expected. This will help us significantly with Dark World damage and allow us to have safer progression. But first things first with Avvina, say hello to the Dark Missile Trooper. And now say goodbye to the Dark Missile Trooper because we have power bombs. Oh, it was just a missile expansion. Well, that's a vanilla check. Although, to be fair, I personally never knew Dark Missile Trooper existed. The game never really pushes you to go back towards Hive Chamber once you've already gone through it once. But hey, that boss is here if you want a free missile expansion. And Sasquatch going right for that Dark Portal, heading straight for that Dark Suit. On the flip side, Avvina's heading right for Hive Chamber B, opening the tunnel, and here's your screw attack for the trouble. Although Light Beam, Screw Attack, and Power Bombs, I'd say you really want to go back into Aegon and head for Sand Canyon to do Sanctuary Fortress for your spider side. That's where the game's really trying to push you towards. Now we don't have Spider Ball, so going for Sanctuary entrance wouldn't help us out terribly much. No Spider Ball would be a difficult time to try to get up to the cannon. And here on Sasquatch's side, we see the second form of Jump Guardian skip. Again, the hitbox is spawned in every time we first enter Judgment Pit, and if we have a way to damage that hitbox, we can get up here. Just use a simple bomb jump or some space jumps, get to the top of the statue, and just lower Jump Guardian's hit point down to 1. And speaking of Jump Guardian, because Jump Guardian's defeated for Avvina, they can go get the ship item off of GFMC's compound. So we got a free item check we're going to head for. Oh, and good news for Avvina. Because we have screw attack and power bombs, we can go through Wind Chamber Gateway to get that Annihilator beam. So because of screw attack, Sasquatch's Annihilator will also be in logic once they go get it. Although Sasquatch doesn't have the information on where it is, but will eventually because it's locked on an Amber Hint. And it looks like going top of the ship today is pretty worthwhile. We have our third energy tank, technically the fourth one, but third for Avvina. And we're going to go take a peek over to Fortress Transport Access and get this translator hint. After we get rid of these Aether security turrets. Alright, our hint today tells us that the Annihilator beam can be found in Temple Grounds. That's really good information for Avvina. There's not many hints, there's not many checks in Temple Grounds itself. So if we can isolate where it is, we could pretty much go get it. But first things first, we're going to bang our head into this wall. We're going to try to peek what Fortress Transport Access has, although to me it looks like it's just a missile expansion. Yep, by jamming our head against the wall, we can force the camera through the piece of collision and take a peek at what the item is. And Avvina's going to be real happy as once we get through Grand Wind Chamber, go to Wind Chamber Gateway, we're going to find that Annihilator beam that was just hinted for us. So yay, we get Annihilator beam. Oh, hold on, that actually helps Avvina quite nicely, as we could go for Plane of Dark Worship. Although a little troublesome, we only have 3 E-Tanks, and Avvina does not have the Dark Suit yet. So going for Plane of Dark Worship would be extremely risky. Especially before having that Dark Suit, as, oh, that angst can drain our health way too quickly. Oh, we need at least 4 for Varia? Well, thank you for that confirmation, Rico. We can't do Pod W even if we wanted to right now. Not enough E. But hey, there's that Annihilator beam. Well, that gets us the logical Dark Suit, and then we could do Plane of Dark Worship. But speaking of which, Sasquatch getting information where Screw Attack is, that'll help him out, as we just did the Aegon Labs play. We just came back from Jump Guardian Loop. I'd say you really want to go back and get it, Sasquatch. There's not much else you can really do here without it. Although, unless Sasquatch is thinking about going for Vent Area A, but we do have Amber Translator, so might as well hang out in Aegon just a little bit longer to get your Translator hints, and get the Emerald off of Sand Cache. On the flip side for Avvina, we're going to progress towards most likely going back to Aegon for that Dark Suit. Because once we have that Dark Suit, that'll set up some Plane of Dark Worship, and also going into Aegon itself, we can use that to go towards Sanctuary. We really don't want to dive Torvus yet until we have Dark Beam. Yeah, Dark Beam and or Super Missiles locks a good majority of Torvus Bog. But what we can do, we can peek the item at Plane of Dark Worship. We can see what's here and get the information if do we need to come back later? Or can we just leave this check behind? Well, let's find out. What do we have on Pod W today? I cannot physically tell what that is, although because there's no item model and it's blending into the background, something's telling me that's Dark Beam. And something's telling me that definitely is Dark Beam because Avvina's extremely unhappy. That's a Dark Beam, folks! Well, so that means we need Annihilator Beam to get Dark Beam. Would you look at that? That's extremely painful. As Avvina has to go all the way back to Crossroads to get that Dark Suit before being able to get that Dark Beam. Although, there is a trick we can do. If we have at minimum 4 E-tanks, as Rika pointed out, we could go just do a screw attack play and screw attack all throughout Plane of Dark Worship. Would it be worth it? Not really. No, it's extremely risky. You know where the suit is. Your best bet is to get that dark suit first. That way you don't have to worry about the Aether damage. Yep, and Avvina taking a safety save. You could never go wrong with a safety save. Oh, but it looks like Sasquatch has decided to go towards Vent Area A, is choosing against Screw Attack. Now, that's going to hurt us a little bit because we're going to have a hard time getting Hall of Combat Mastery if this item is any good to us. Now, we could do it with a well-timed bomb space jump, but it's going to be extremely tight. All right, so let's go take a look over at Spider's Treasure today. We have 3 items here: Hall of Combat Mastery, Culling Chamber, and we need Hazen Cliff. Now, Avvina did see the suit. We saw them look up at it at Avvina's going for the screw attack method. It's going to be extremely risky, hence why we have the safety save. We're down to 1 E-tank. We need to turn around, screw attack all the way over. A little bit late on that screw attack, Avvina. Nope, I don't think we got it. No, we didn't. Nope, we took too much time on the turnaround. KRR, Airy is not known yet. Airy could be almost anything. I'm fairly certain we did see the suit, but I could be mistaken. And Wyvern, sadly, it might have been a different race that you're thinking of, but we do have Cannonball agreed for today's race. I agree, Rico. Trying to stand up, turn all the way around, and engage a screw attack. You're wasting so much time, and you don't have the time to spare when you're in Pod W. You're just losing too much health way too rapidly. Now, does Avvina try for it again? Or do they go get the suit first? Alright, looks like they're picking the smart play to go for the suit. Meanwhile, Sasquatch is done here in Sanctuary Fortress. We found an E-tank, and it didn't appear to be anything else that we located. And yes, Op, I agree. We do turn pretty slowly in the 3D Metroid. I do want to say it's because we're on with tank controls. But compared to 2D, you just push a button, you pretty much almost instantly turn around. Oh, looks like both winners are doing a high five here at Mining Plaza. Sasquatch leaving Aegon while Avvina just now enters it. Going right for Crossroad to get that dark suit to, in turn, get the dark beam. Meanwhile, Sasquatch going back to Temple Grounds. We're doing some cleaning up. We have Hive Chamber A and B, so we will get Screw Attack. And hopefully, because Sasquatch has Dark Suit and Light Beam, with Annihilator to activate the portal. We can go right for Plane of Dark Worship and also get our Dark Beam. Yes, number. Sand Canyon is now in logic. We have Power Bombs and Screw Attack. That's all we need for it. Now, I will say, because we have Dark Beam, that's really pushing us towards a little bit of a Torvus Bog play, since we do have what we need to enter Torvus. We have Emerald, Amber, we have Light Beam, Dark Beam for the main door off a Lagoon. There's a good amount in Torvus Bog we can do. Sanctuary would be nice to go for, except with Sanctuary, you really want to have Spider Ball before you make any major progress. Spider Ball locks a good portion of the Sanctuary. Oh, and Avvina has their dark suit. We're going to take a quick save warp to get out, while Sasquatch says hello to DMT, and then says goodbye to Dark Missile Trooper. Please do not stand right next to a power bomb. They hurt. Now, right now, as for both runners, they relatively have the same knowledge. Sasquatch has a little bit more knowledge compared to Avvina, just because of Spider's treasure being done. But Avvina does know the exact location of Dark Beam. Now, Sasquatch could fall into it. You know, they might just go right past Plane of Dark Worship, or they'll see the check and go for it. Hopefully, they go for it to actually get it. But runners are trying to find super missiles or seekers at this point. Or Spider Ball. We want Spider Ball, seekers, or supers. Those three would really help push us along. Now, Dark Visor and Echo, yeah, they're great to have. It gets you a handful of items. But if we can skip them, we will. It's just a matter of we don't have the knowledge that we need for Dark Visor and Echo yet. They wouldn't open up as much as the other three items. And it looks like both runners are going for Plane of Dark Worship. They will be getting that Dark Beam today. Although I do think Dark Beam on Plane of Dark Worship is a really bad check. Just because of the item model. You know, you're in Dark Aether, everything's all dark and purple and hazy. And Dark Beam has pretty much the same color scheme and color style. So if you're not paying attention, you could just very easily skip what that item is. Thankfully, it didn't happen today. Both runners have their Dark Beam, and it's now time to progress forward. In my opinion, I really think, again, we should be heading to Torvus Bog. That's where the game is trying to tell us. We have Emerald, Amber, Dark Beam, Light Beam, we have a suit. Well, we got almost all we need, outside of super missiles. First things first, we're going to do a little bit of extra cleanup, it looks like. Avvina's most likely heading for Sand Canyon to do Spider's Treasure off of Sanctuary, while Sasquatch continues forward towards GFMC Compound to get the ship item due to Jump Guardian. And we very well could be seeing... a Phase on Grounds play. And because we have what we need for Phase on Grounds. Now we could dive Sanctuary entrance, although with the lack of Spider Ball, it'd be a little too tedious to go for. But we will get the information off of FTA and this translator hint, except this translator hint is going to be useless to Sasquatch since they already found Annihilator Beam. And it looks like our prediction was correct. Avvina is heading for Sand Canyon. Although we could be going for Mine Shaft as well. That is one check we have access to right away. Thank you, Darkbeam, for giving us access to it. And you really don't want to isolate any checks. Once you start isolating, your late game routing could take a hit. Oh, it's just an E-tank. And Avvina's deciding not to go for it. Nope, they've changed their mind. They are going for that E-tank. Maybe? Yep, we are going for it. And it looks like Sasquatch is going towards Phazon grounds today. Getting hit by the Metroid. That Metroid's not a very nice friend. And we got something shiny over there on Phazon grounds. Looks to be a missile of some type. Oh, that's not just any missile. That's unlimited missiles, is it? Yes, it is. Nope, that's our missile launcher. Very similar item model. Why is our launcher here on Phazon grounds? That's a weird place for it. Although it makes complete sense. It makes sense. We have screw attack, we have annihilator beam, we have access to screw attack without, well, no, we need missiles to actually defeat Bomb Guardian. Huh. Although defeating Bomb Guardian only doesn't matter because we have main power bombs to go into screw attack. Base jump was free. Yeah, no, missile launch was totally free. Now, who's the bright idea to put our launcher locked behind a screw attack? Alright, so because we have power bombs and screw attack, we get Sand Canyon for us. Sand Canyon's just a light ammo expansion. Nothing great, but we'll always take more ammo. Next on our list, Avvina's heading for Spider's Treasure, while Sasquatch most likely makes a play towards Torva's Bog. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. Yeah, Torvus has a lot open to us. And hopefully we come across supers, seekers. Gravity boost would be nice for lower Torvus. Dark Visor or Echo would be nice to have in general. There's a handful of item checks locked behind both of those. And because we have Annihilator, that Echo would come in handy. And it looks like Avvina is now officially validated because they also have the energy transfer module. Congratulations! Your run is now able to be accepted. Well, we got another translator hint for us today. Chica is guarding the Ing Hive key. Okay, well, I apologize to anyone who is looking forward to a Chica fight. You will not be seeing that today. But Chica having an Ing Hive key, thankfully it's Ing Hive and not an Amorbus key. So we got lucky. Alright, so Sasquatch decided to go for Hall of Combat, not Hall of the Honored Dead. Now, it doesn't have anything that we want, so we have to leave. But you can't normally leave because there's a Seeker lock on Hall of Honor Dead. So how do we get back out? Well, we can go back out the way we came. By screw attacking into the Morph Ball opening, we can just go right back through the tunnel. It's not locked. Thankfully, our screw attack hitbox is the exact same size as a Morph Ball. So because of that, we can go through Morph Ball sized opening while in screw attack formation. Extremely useful for us in this case. Although it's not really useful to have dark ammo on Culling Chamber. Now, unfortunately, we can't get hints quite yet, Number. We don't have supers or seekers to open the doors. Although, if Sasquatch is comfortable with it, there's an out of bounds we can do on the gondola to where we can wall crawl all the way around, which looks like he's going for it. He's going for the out of bounds. Now, this is a trick I strongly recommend anyone to learn. It's difficult, yes, but it's extremely useful. So what we did, we lowered a pedestal on the pedestal arm on the gondola to stand on it. That way we have a flat surface on the top, and we just jumped straight across to hopefully do a successful multi-room wall crawl and go right out of bounds to the gateway. Now, in short, every room of Echoes is inside a box. When we move outside that box, we enter what we call the Aether. Now, every time we enter and leave the Aether, or actually every time we're in the Aether, we slowly rise up to the top of the room. It takes a while, though. But there is a few frame window where we entering and leaving the Aether box gives us an opportunity to input a jump. And if we keep jumping to the top of the room, we get to pretty much crawl anywhere that we want. So Sasquatch is going to go room by room, one at a time. We only want to keep one room loaded. That way we can go forward, bypass the super locks on the doors, bypass the seeker lock on the gateway door, and go get key hints extremely early, which will be useful to us, since once we have that information, we can start routing the other areas accordingly. And it looks to be a Sky Temple key and War Ritual grounds, meaning we need at minimum Dark Visor and Seekers. Alright, so we know Dark Visor and Seekers are required, and real quick, Avvina pulled off a fantastic one-shot KO on Dark Samus. Power bombs against Dark Samus 1 equals instant incineration. And hey, we got unlimited beam ammo for our troubles. Oh, hold on. Dark Oasis has a key on it today. Well, we better hope that's not an Amorbus key, and that it's not a Sky Temple key. Oasis having a key can be pretty troublesome. But we do get to take a peek at main reactor today. And can't really see what that item is, though. Looks to be possibly a missile expansion. Well, we're correct that it was some sort of missile, except that's not an expansion. That's our Seeker launcher on main reactor. So logically speaking, our Seekers are locked behind Spider Ball. Oh, and great job by Sasquatch. Fantastic work on the out of bounds. They're able to go get their key hints now. All right, go and get your notepads ready. It's time to go over your Sky Temple key locations for today. All right, so your locations include Under Temple. Great, we have to possibly fight Powerbomb Guardian. Hive Dynamo Works. Thank you, Spider Guardian. Training Chamber. That's not terrible. That's a free key. Dark Aegon Temple. Well, we knew about that one earlier. Stank Map Station. We need a required light suit. Under Transit 1, that's pretty much free. Dark Oasis. Okay, thanks, game. And the War Ritual Grounds that we saw earlier. Okay, well, it looks like our key locations are pretty terrible today. Alright, so to quickly go over our Sky Temple key locations and what we need. Great time is time for everybody's favorite, the 1 hour rundown. And yes, Sasquatch did take an intentional death to go back to last save. Yep, we got Dark Torv's key on storage B. Nothing that we need, thankfully. Check is not required today. So, let's get this started, shall we? Over on Sasquatch's side, we just got information where our Sky Temple keys are. Now, our keys aren't in terrible locations, they're just a little scattered. We have one key over in Dark Aegon Temple. Now, that's going to require us to get either all 3 of the Dark Aegon keys, or we need to do an out of bounds. Now, that out of bounds is not easy by any means, but if our Aegon keys are in bad locations, we might go for it. Trial Tunnel's a free key. Under Temple has the possibility of us. Well, we have to fight Powerbomb Guardian regardless, just to get Dark Oasis to spawn. So, because of everything, we need Light Suit, we need Spider Ball, we need Dark Visor for War Ritual Grounds, Seeker Launcher to access War Ritual. We need the Dark Aegon keys, Cobalt to access Sync Map Station without doing the out of bounds. And yeah, pretty much almost everything except for Echo Visor, since Echo can be possibly skipped, depending on other major item locations, such as having Dark Visor locked behind Echo on, let's say, Sentinel's Path. Never mind, we've just located Echo. And Gravity Boost is an abandoned worksite. That's a fantastic hint to have, since abandoned worksite's pretty free to go get. So in Cache 1 for Echo, that's nice. It's not a terrible location. Doing Dark Labs is a good idea for Avvina. We're still here in Aegon, and we have what we need to move through it. Sasquatch, on the other hand, is going right for Torvus Bog. Smart play, because a lot of your progression is going to be in Torvus. That, and going through Torvus now, you have the possibility of finding Spider Ball before Sanctuary. And if we do find Spider before Sanctuary, that will allow us to go through the Sank Vault Side elevator without a headache. As for Avvina, they have no information on Sky Temple keys. They don't have any knowledge on how to get there. Granted, we could just do the out of bounds, but we need supers for later. Yeah, supers are going to be great later on. So we still need to find Spider Ball, Dark Visor, and we need that Cobalt and Light Suit. So we do have a little bit less of a collection. But because Avvina has no STK knowledge, who knows what route we're going to take. Most probable, once we're done here in labs, we'll head towards Torvus Bog and do some cleanup. Since again, without having Spider Ball, going through Sanctuary can be a bit of trouble. And speaking of Torvus, Sasquatch has just entered Torvus Bog through Lagoon, and we're getting information that nothing is on Lagoon that we need today. Yep. Hey, there we go. Great hint for Sasquatch. Immediate knowledge on where the Echo Visor is. Alrighty, and just a little bit of Torvis music for everyone at home. Torvis has such a great soundtrack. Oh, okay, hold on. That's major progression for Sasquatch. Super missiles on Great Bridge, right before Torvis Temple. That is almost a perfect location for them to be. Supers before entering Temple so you can get Torvis Energy Controller for another hint. Amazing. Oh, I know. We're just staying a little bit silent during that space pirate fight. You gotta give props to the sound team for their amazing composition. Alright, Torvis Temple has been completed. We have that boss, we have the pirate fight down, and we got some dark ammo for our troubles. On the other hand, Avvina's progressing through Aegon Wastes. Still doing some cleanup. They've just come from sand processing, getting yet another energy tank. While Sasquatch enters Torvis Energy to say hello to Aisha. Oh, do we have anything useful today on Torvis Energy? Let's find out. Well, the item system missile expansion, so not terribly so. But hey, more missiles are always good to have. What about the hint? The key? Oh, Dark Aegon keys. Aegon Wastes, Ing Hive, Sanctuary Fortress. Okay, that Dark Aegon key in Aegon, most likely you're looking at the mining station B side of things, storage A, or it could be all the way on storage C on the far side of labs. Those are extremely useful for Sasquatch to have. Now that he knows what region all three keys are in, we can route that accordingly. We can leave that Aegon key behind for last, as once we're done in Torvis, we'll most likely take the lower Torvis elevator into Sanctuary. Since once we're done with the Morbus, there's a save station right off a Judgment Pit we can use for a save warp. Alrighty, let's keep on moving through Torvis Bog. We'll get some information on Portal Chamber Light, if that has anything useful to us today. That's a power bomb expansion. Nah, we're not really interested in it. Too much time to go get it. So we're going to do another trick here, another bomb space jump. Fantastic work, did it first try. And this gets us the gravity boost on Abandoned Worksite. Now, because we don't have grapple beam, we do have to do a bit of a slope jump or screw attack to get across. Did that slope jump first try, great work. And now we have what we need to access Lower Torvis and Underground Tunnel. Now, you know the all-famed saying, there's always progression in Underground Tunnel. Will that statement live true to this day? Let's find out as we enter the depths of Torvis. Oh, we're not going to go check Underground Tunnel immediately. And Sasquatch is out of missiles and can't open that super door. So we're going to burn the rest of our missiles to get a guaranteed drop off these little storage containers. And yep, now we'll go check Underground Tunnel. What do we have on the tunnel itself? We have a power bomb expansion. Okay, not entirely useful. So what does the hint tell us? That is the worst information possible! Okay, game, I see what you're trying to do, and that's not good at all. We've just ran into a serious problem, everyone. Remember how earlier we said that Quad only had a grapple beam, and most likely wasn't going to be required? Well, we forgot to mention that Quad has 2 items locked behind it. The Quadraxis item itself, and the main energy controller for Tumos, where you normally get Light Suit. So because of that, because our Cobalt is on Tumos, we need to theoretically defeat Quadraxis, return the Ying Hive energy to Sanctuary, then go get the Light Suit check off of main energy, which will give us Cobalt, to go all the way back to Sanctuary to get the map station. Now, I will say there is a positive. Sank Map Station has an out of bounds that we can do. We can go out of bounds, get Sank Map Station without the need for Cobalt. Is it worthwhile? Absolutely not. That out of bounds is extremely terrible. But it's an option. But the one item that Tumos didn't need to have, and the game put it on there anyway, that is the one, basically the one thing we did not want it to have. And Rico, you're making a fair point. We could do a quad skip. Now, what exactly is quad skip? Well, during the fight of Quadraxis, the door to leave is open. The energy controller door is open itself because developers never thought you could reach the height needed to get to the room. Well, by manipulating phase 2 of Quad, we can stand on the defeated body and just screw attack to the door. Now the problem is that would totally delete Quadraxis, but it won't raise the center pedestal of the room to allow you forward. You need a one-time screw attack to jump all the way across the room and hopefully leave through the Annihilator door on the opposite side. It's a one try and it's over. If you fail it, you need to reset as it's a soft lock. But we'll go more into that on when we actually do Quadraxis itself. Oh, that's cute. A nice little smiley face by Avvina after realizing Chica has an Hive key. You say that now, Avvina, but you don't know what Tumos has. That smile is not going to be kept for long. Yes, Reed, you've done it again. 5 required Quadraxis in a row. I hope you're happy with yourself, Reed. So, now let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Over on the left, Avvina appears to be going for key hints, potentially, if they're comfortable with the out of bounds. Now, granted, we don't have supers, and we don't have seekers. Well, no, we do have seekers, we just don't have supers. So we would have to out of bounds. Nope, it appears Avvina's not going for it. We're just going for the normal path into Torvus Lagoon. Over on the right, Sasquatch is moving through Dark Torvus Bog. We're doing some cleanup in an attempt to find any of our remaining majors or the Dark Aegon keys. Although Dark Aegon keys are not here in Dark Torvus, they're over in Inghive. A hive entrance Aegon key? Well, PJ, it's entirely plausible. Oh, Avvina just got the information for gravity boost. That'll be useful to them later. And Sasquatch is continuing through Dark Aegon. We've just come from Cache B. Nothing useful in Cache B today, so we're going to head out and potentially go for Lower Torvus. Again, we're searching for basically all of our majors outside of Echo. No, wait a minute. We need to fight Quadraxis. Logically, Echo's required for it. We need practically a full tracker to beat this game. Oh, and we have a beam related on Poison Bog. That's absolutely useless to us since we know where supers are. Although, let's go and take a look at Bomb Guardian today with Dark Torvus Arena. We have power bombs, so we can skip Boost Guardian. If we time a power bomb correctly, just as Boost Guardian enters its puddle phase, we can do extensive damage with power bombs. If it hits, yes it does. Oh, but Avvina got information for Echo. That's a great hint, except we already did all of Aegon Labs before entering Torvus. So that hint does not help. Oh, and there's supers for Avvina off of Great Bridge. And does Avvina not know? Well, Avvina did get the hint for Chica. Hopefully they didn't forget. Correct number. We still need Light Suit, Spider Ball, Dark Visor, and logically Echo Visor, along with all 3 Dark Aegon keys. So as far as routing goes, let's go on and dive into the route a little bit. What I'd recommend on Sasquatch's side, because we have STK information and the knowledge on where the Aegon keys are, I'd strongly recommend Sasquatch continues through Lower Torvus, do Under Temple, get Dark Oasis ready, then go into Sanctuary from Lower Torvus. Yeah, there's a strong possibility that your Spider Ball is going to be in Lower Torvus, hopefully. Although granted, we can't do Power Bomb Guardian until we find Seekers, so that's not Seekers, but Supers. Spider Ball! God, we're gonna get one of these words right. Oop, and something good is in Gathering Hall today. Gathering Hall. Oh, okay. Big information. The Spider Ball can be found in Sky Temple grounds. Not many Sky Temple grounds locations are left. We have Ing Reliquary. Oh, what was the Ing Reliquary hint? I don't believe it was Morph Ball related. It can't be War Ritual grounds. We already checked that. At Defiled Shrine, Accursed Lake was a beam related, so it can't be there. Oh, Profane Path, Defiled Shrine, Ing Reliquary. There's only 3 locations it could be. The Cursed Lake had to be related. That we know. Oh, Reliquary is a light support system? Well, that means it can't be Reliquary, so Profane Path and Defiled Shrine are looking promising to us. Although with Spider Ball being in Sky Temple grounds, we can't do Power Bomb Guardian. And we need Power Bomb Guardian defeated so we can get Dark Oasis later. And Dungeon has a beam related, nothing we're worried about. Catacombs. Oh, okay. Dark Visor is 2 rooms away from Dark Aegon Key 2. Alright, so good news is the game is telling us where all our majors are. Outside of Light Suit, which is still missing. We know where Spider Ball is. We know where Dark Visor is potentially at. We know where Echo Visor is and Seekers. Oh, it's going to be one heck of a journey. Does this hint tell us anything good? Nope, we just got our joke hints. But opening up training chamber, we get another STK. Remember we had this hinted at earlier. Nope, a nice bomb space jump by Avvina to get up to Torvus Temple without a problem. And it looks like Sasquatch has decided to take a save warp. How did Avvina peak that? Well, if we screw attack at the opening for Torvus Temple access, screw attack clips the camera down without actually forcing us down. So we're doing a little bit of a camera manipulation to get that item peak. So as far as routing goes, we got a handful of options to us. Avvina is most likely going to want to continue throughout the entirety of Torvus, get the lower Torvus hints, and you might want to start making your way towards that Spider Ball. Spider Ball is going to be a real big help for you later. And Spider Ball would be good to have just regardless, that way we could do That way we could do under temples for Power Bomb Guardian. Now again, since we have the Dark Aegon Temple Key of an Aegon, Inghive, and Sanctuary, it's possible that Aegon Key 2 is an Inghive, and as such, that would put Dark Visor somewhere in Inghive. Now, thankfully, Dark Visor isn't really required as of yet. Just not for anything that we readily want to check. But we do get the information from Underground Tunnel that Cobalt is on Tumos. And that's going to be painful since we need that Cobalt. Well, and good news is Sasquatch is going towards Incash 1. Incash 1, remember we had a major on it with our Echo Visor. So by going to get Echo now, doing some cleanup, we get to keep on moving forward. And because we have Echo, that also gets us some Echo Annihilator checks. And that'll help us out greatly when we get to Sanctuary later on. Alrighty, so because we have supers, we can go right for Warrior's Walk, but unfortunately it only has a light ammo expansion, so nothing for us to worry about. Well, but again, it's all about going to areas we haven't done yet. There's so much left to check, and we're only missing a handful of items. I mean, Dark Oasis, we need Power Bomb Guardian defeated, so we need that Spider Ball. We know Spider Ball's in Sky Temple grounds somewhere. And if it is on Profane Path, it's good that we went to get the Echo Visor first. That way we can get Profane Path out of the way immediately. And to be fair, we're still missing Light Suit, so that could be practically anywhere. There's a lot of locations left. But as for Avvina, because we have supers and seekers, I agree with PJ, we have the ability to go get Sky Temple key hints. But I suspect once they're done here in Upper Torvus, they'll use the Torvus Lagoon to go get those key hints. Alp and Sasquatch just got a good peek at Seekers here in Main Reactor. That'll get them quite happy. And if we remember earlier how we mentioned screw attack is the size of a morph ball hitbox, well, we can use that to our advantage by skipping the spider ball boost ball puzzle and getting seekers without the need of spider ball. As long as we screw attack into the opening, that allows us to force our way in because of our smaller hitbox, and we get the item for free. So now that we've completed Aegon Labs, we got one more room to check over on Storage B. And then we have Storage C off of Bioenergy. And Storage B has a Torvis key on it. But Storage C could have the Aegon key that we need. And at this point, it's starting to look promising. It's either here or Central Mining Station, as we've yet to check Central Mining from what we saw earlier. But there's a strong probability that Storage C has the Aegon key that we need for Morbus, while Avvina goes and fights Power Bomb Guardian. Well, that's what it feels like, but nope, we have Boost Guardian with the Power Bomb. Oh, and that power bomb didn't work all the way. Just a few hit points left. Oh, we got robbed from a quick kill on Boost Guardian. Oh, but that's fair. Remember, we still have Mining Station B and Storage A. Right? We've yet to go through that section of early Aegon. You're correct. Oh, but either way, it's a hunt. We really don't want to go. Yeah, we should go for it. I mean, full clearing areas at this point is sort of the good option. Again, we really want all we can before entering Sanctuary due to the sheer amount that's left in Sank. And by getting this Aegon key now instead of waiting later, we don't have to go on a scavenger hunt near the end of our routing. Right now we know Spider Ball's general location. We know Dark Visor's general location. And the biggest thing we're hunting for is a light suit so that we can get Sank Map Station done. Without that light suit, we need to do a difficult out of bounds. And that out of bounds is really not worthwhile unless we're desperate. It just wastes a lot of time if you mess it up. So first things first for Sasquatch, we're going to go towards Mining Station B and Storage A with another Amber Translator hint here at the bottom. Meanwhile, speaking of going down, Avvina's most likely heading for Lower Torbus. We have gravity, and we just did underground tunnels, so that will allow us to go focus on Lower Torbus. Yep, there's that Dark Aegon key we mentioned earlier, right here on Mining Station B. And the Amber hint, probably a joke hint, maybe? Yep, there's that joke hint. So that means every Cobalt hint is going to be useful, except we can't get Cobalt hints because of Cobalt's location. Can we get 2 more rude locations, PJ? You're absolutely making a great point. First locations, we have one in Inghive, we have one in Sanctuary. You could put a key on Airy, You could put a key on Hive No, it can't be on Hive entrance because Dark Visor is 2 rooms away from Ing Hive Key 2. Not Ing Hive, but Dark Aegon Key 2. And since that one's in Ing Hive, Hive entrance can't have anything useful for us. Although it could have Spider Ball. You know, that's a possibility. Hive entrance, no, because we know Spider Ball's in Sky Temple. So, nope, no Hive entrance today. We have another translator hint here in Training Chamber, giving us knowledge of joke hint. There are 2 joke hints in every seed. So because we've already found both of them, we know the rest of our hints are going to have information on them. Oh, that's a fair point. Yeah, unless... Oh, unless the aerial training site has something. It could be Sanctuary. Oh, it's just a hunt to try to find them. Oh, it's just going to be a long scavenger hunt tonight, everyone. We've got plenty of rooms left to check, but the first things first, we really want to get that Spider Ball before Sanctuary, due to Spider Ball's extensive use throughout. But once Sasquatch gets that Spider Ball, it'll be smooth sailing through the rest of Sanctuary. Then we can hopefully get that Ing Hive key. Not the Ing Hive, but the Dark Aegon key, and try to pinpoint where exactly that Dark Visor is. But yep, Spider Ball's right here on Profane Path today. Not a bad location at all. Well, we get yet another hint for Avvina here in Gathering Hall. It's just right behind them. And this hint tells us where Spider Ball is over in Sky Temple grounds. Great information to have, especially because we can't do Power Bomb Guardian without Spider Ball. And so now that we're done with Torvus, it only makes sense to go to Sanctuary. Although there is a good logic chain for what Sasquatch is thinking. By going to Lower Torvus first, we can do Powerbomb Guardian, get the Undertemple STK out of the way, and then use the Lower Torvus elevator on Training Chamber to dive into Sanctuary Vault side. And then once we do that, we can go through the entirety of Sanctuary, get the Ing Hive work done, and then save Aegon for last because we need all 3 keys, and the keys are scattered across Ing Hive and one in Sanctuary itself. So that makes a good route. Leave Aegon for last, do Sanctuary after Torvus, that way you're set up perfectly for Dark Oasis. As for Avvina, still hunting for that spider ball, but they did get the hint for it. Trying to see what's left they can do in Sky Temple to actually get it. They're noticing War Ritual Grounds. Hopefully they know that's not the right one. But because they have Supers and Seekers, they can go get their key hints and get War Ritual along the way because of Seekers on first pass. Except, no, we can't. We don't have Dark Visor. Dark Visor still missing. No War Ritual Grounds. Oh, and Sasquatch is heading right for the true depths of Torvus. That's a powerbomb fight if we've ever seen one. You know, this is a very interesting race that Rita's generated for us today. Yeah, I would not have expected... Well, I don't know what I expected. It's a reed seed. You never know what you're going to expect. And thankfully, Alpha Blog doesn't have anything useful for us, so we're going to turn around, use the spider trek for a dark portal, and this will fight right into Undertempo. Although this begs the question, does Powerbomb Guardian itself have the STK, or is it on the screw attack wall? We have to fight Powerbomb Guardian regardless, but it's interesting to know if it also has the key. Nope, no it does not. The key's right here on the screw attack wall. At least we get it. That's 3 keys for Sasquatch, 2 for Avvina, and Avvina has everything they need to go get the rest of the key hints. Might as well do that now, that way you can figure out your routing. Oh, but it looks like Avvina is making a way towards Profane Path to check Sky Temple grounds for Spider Ball. Great choice starting with Profane Path because that's exactly where it is. That and Profane Path also goes to Phazon grounds, a room they also haven't checked. And it's the closest one that we could do. And fun fact, because we are on New Patcher, if you scan the Echo Door, it'll tell you the correct order without listening to the audio. That way you don't have to guess with the audio sounds, you can just hit the right one. You know, it's great quality of life, especially for those with hearing problems. And there's the shots of happiness for the spider ball. Fantastic work by Avvina. Now it's time to go back and keep on moving. Oh, and Powerbomb Guardian only had light ammo today. Well, that's a shame. Maybe under Temple Access has something. An E-tank? Hey, we'll always take more E. And we do have a key here on Under Transit 1, right behind Grapple Guardian. Well, we could go get that now. We're already here in Lower Dark Torbus. You might as well. Although we don't have to fight Grapple Guardian unless Grapple Guardian has our suit, in which case that'd be a very terrible location for it. Yes, Grapple Guardian is unknown number. It could have the light suit that we're missing. Although, fun fact with Grapple Guardian, it's one of the few bosses you actually have to scan before you can do any damage to it. If you don't scan Grapple Guardian, you'll never get that weak point to show up. When it appears Grapple Guardian just had a missile expansion for us today. But that's okay. We'll use this as a pivot to get to Under Transit 1 and get another Sky Temple key. And if that green glow wasn't confirmation enough, there's the item. That's another SDK. That brings our grand total up to 4. Well, now that Under Transit 1's out of the way, we only have a handful of stuff left to do. We have the Hive Dynamo Works over in Inghive, Dark Aegon Temple in Aegon, Thank Map Station, and War Ritual, and Dark Oasis, and War Ritual Grounds. War Ritual we're going to leave for last. We're not even going to include it into our routing itself, just based on where it is to Gateway. Dark Oasis and Dark Aegon Temple we're gonna save almost for last. We're gonna leave Aegon alone until we got everything else. So step 1, we're gonna do Hive Dynamo Works first, then we'll dive for Sync Map Station. As we need the Cobalt from Tumos to even get Sync Map. But in the meantime, we can go for Hive Dynamo. And hopefully by going through the rest of Sanctuary and Inghive, we can find that Dark Visor and eventually the light suit that we're missing. And it looks like Avvina has finally gone to go get key hints. They're going to realize something pretty terrible once they realize Sync Map Station is required. That's not going to be fun. And Hive Dynamo Works isn't fun either, but at least it's a lot better than the others. And yep, Sasquatch used the lower Torbus elevator to go into Sanctuary Fortress. This goes to Vault side. And we can just start getting some cleanup done. Just go through every room of Sanctuary, looking for that light suit, looking for the Aegon key to eventually dive for that dark visor. Then once that's done, we just go get the rest of our keys as normal. Avvina, they've got pretty much the similar thing to do. We've got to set up. Well, which red key is this? Oh, I think Hive Key 3. That's not the one we want. Well, Avvina's got a lot more to do compared to Sasquatch. Avvina really needs to dive for lower Torbus. Since we have Spider Ball, that takes care of Power Bomb Guardian. And in turn, we can use that to go for Sank Vault, go for Sanctuary itself, and in turn leave Aegon for last, since there's nothing in Aegon that we want outside of final keys. But both routes are pretty clear for the runners. And yes, that would be a pretty funny number. With the Ing Hive keys, those keys are the most useless keys in all of Echoes. The door to access the Ing Temple can be skipped in 3 different ways minimum. 1, you jump over the gate with a bomb space jump. 2, you go around the door with Annihilator Beam. Or 3, you out of bounds it. But if we manage to find all the Ing Hive keys before that, we could do something that hasn't been done in a while and just go right through the main door. While Avvina continues to get bullied by a pirate. Although it's looking like Avvina's going for Sank Entrance, hoping that Sank Entrance has what we're looking for today. It's possible, as Sank Entrance is currently unknown. And not a bad puzzle at all. And fun fact, since we are also on New Patcher, these puzzles are completely randomized. The order in which they spawn is predetermined from a pool of at least 100 different combinations. And there is a very slim chance that it could spawn with everything completed, where the puzzle spawns in, all the colors are in the proper order, and the puzzle despawns itself. It's happened before, although it is extremely rare. Oh, and Avvina's got to be careful when we're playing Pirate Bowling. Those Phazon canisters do a ton of damage. Avvina, please be careful. Do not take a death. This would be the worst time for it. I know going bowling is risky. We don't want a gutter ball. But we still have the pirates to take care of. Okay, we're safe. We are safe. That's why we strongly recommend you don't use boost ball on the sank entrance bridge due to the probability of hitting a phase-on canister. And you know what time it is? It's time to go say hi to everybody's favorite Luminoth and the last sentinel of the Fortress Temple. It's time to hear the words of O'Lear. Except we don't have Cobalt to actually hear the words, so we're just going to take O'Lear's property and leave. And it turns out the tank entrance has something, if we can actually blow open the wall. Oh, that doesn't appear to be useful at all. Here we go with oh, hello! We've just found Dark Visor. The last key is either in Watch Station Access or it's in Cat West. We peaked Watch Station Access already? Okay, then it's got to be Cat West. Well, but Sasquatch is going for a skip here. Attempted to get a triple bomb space jump in order to skip part of the puzzle. Trying to land on the spider track itself without using the cannon. Yeah, triple bomb space jumps are some of the hardest to perform. And now that we're on the spider track, we can just clip onto it and roll around to the end. This bypasses the need for the kinetic orb cannon and a potential loss of cannonball. Or we could just get completely flung off. Now that's why you don't disrespect the spider track. You always show respect to the puzzles. And Sasquatch was close, but we just missed it. Now we gotta do it all over again. There we go. Now the portal's open. Is there anything on ATS today? Well, that's a red key. Is that the last Aegon key? Yeah, it is. The last Aegon key we need on aerial training site. Well, that was a pretty good find. Although since we're already here next to Quad, we might as well just go fight Quadraxis and get the energy returned so you can get the Cobalt. Unless Sasquatch is comfortable with doing Sync Map Station out of bounds. Well, it could be anyone's game right now. Avvina's making great cleanup progression. Sasquatch continuing through Sanctuary. Now, again, we do have a key on Sync Map Station, which does need Light Suit and Cobalt, but there is an out of bounds that can skip both of those. If Sasquatch is familiar with it, we might see another out of bounds happen. But it looks like Sasquatch is trying to think, where exactly is that key that was hinted at from Dark Visor being 2 rooms away? Oh, and Sasquatch might want to take care of the res bits. Oh, I love how the little res bit just moved at the last second. Like, oh, you're coming after me? No, sorry. Go the other way around. And good news for Avvina. They've just found the Aegon key for Dark Aegon Temple. Well, it looks like Sasquatch is double checking their hint, trying to find out where that Dark Visor is. Now, remember, we got that key off of Sentinel's Path, so we gotta go exactly 2 rooms away from it. So let's see, it could be Sank Temple access, although we already checked it. Or it could be Cat West, which is still unknown, which is bought down to the left. There you go. Oh, Sasquatch might have just figured it out. Oh, he already has it. He has Dark Visor because of Sentinel's Path, but we are looking for the Aegon key. The Aegon key is found 2 rooms away from Dark Visor, so we had to figure out what room could qualify for that requirement. And wouldn't you know it, it's right here. Open Sasquatch, because you opened the door, the Echo Lock is now active. Just take out your Echo Visor. Meanwhile, Avvina appears to be struggling, trying to get this key over in Mining Station B. Oh, and they just bonked off the wall. There we go, the key's been found. Good job, we got the Mining Station B. Although we're still missing that light suit for Sasquatch. Now, what's here on Watch Station? Oh, it's just a sunburst. Well, I mean, sunburst does have its niche uses. Such as with Grapple Guardian, it does a lot of damage to certain Dark World enemies. Well, might as well check main gyro chamber. We don't have information on what it is. And it's a free check. Hey, look at that, we got more dark ammo. Well, I guess now it's time to go fight Spider Guardian. Well, we're desperate for a light suit. It could be a variety of locations. And you know what location it could totally be on? That's right. It could be on Airy. We have zero information on where light suit is, everyone. So let's go ahead and check Airy, shall we? Somebody go call K-Rar and let him know Airy's coming up. So, Dark Samus Fight 2. The best option we have is just Dark Burst or Dark Beam. Since technically Dark Samus is a Light World enemy. Screw Attack would also deal major damage. And it's a good thing to have Dark Visor before doing Dark Samus, due to the fact she tends to go invisible. Thankfully, we have unlimited beam ammo, so this makes this fight a lot smoother. We don't have to worry about ammo requirements. Alright, Airy is defeated. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Well, we did say it could be anywhere. And it looks like Airy had the answer that we needed today. Now, this is why you don't leave checks isolated. Leaving behind checks that seem like they won't be the answer is never a good thing. Well, that's everything we need for go mode. Chat's correct. We don't need to collect any other item. We have every possible major in this game outside of Cobalt, and Cobalt is found on Tumos. Yes, we still need the Cobalt on Tumos, Malin, but we have everything we need to get that. We have everything we need for that Cobalt, though. So now all that's left is just go get key hints. Or not hints, but time to go get the rest of our STKs. And that light suit was hard required due to Dark Oasis, as PJ points out. Yes, we need light suit for Dark Oasis. There is no possible way around it that we know of. And the good thing is, looks like Avvina has just completed main gyro chamber to where area is accessible. Hopefully they go get Airy right now. You know, you're doing all this hunting, you don't have any information. Yeah, you do the checks that you have open to you currently. And that appears to be what Avvina's doing, just getting every possible check that they have access to. And yes, technically we do need Cobalt to get Hive Dynamo works. What was Airy Jam? Kira, I'm gonna have you take a wild guess. Because Airy had our progression on it. Well, it looks like Sasquatch has decided to take care of Aegon first. And just going for Dark Aegon Temple, while heading for Dark Oasis shortly thereafter. Time to go region by region, getting all your STKs, and eventually finishing the final boss. Oh, but looks like Sasquatch accidentally triggered the Warrior Ink fight. That's okay. Nothing a few light beam shots can't handle. But, but the first thing on the list, we've got to go defeat a Morbus. Yeah, thankfully we do have a quick kill method that we can use to skip part of the third phase. It's not much, but any skip is a good skip. So with the Morbus, we're just going to shoot the worm with a charged light beam shot, then do it again to the head mod, and then we'll blow it up. And having a good amount of light beam ammo is critical for a fast Morbus. Alright, now we're going to try what we like to call worm skip. Now that we have 2 worms here for Morbus, we're going to try to skip the 3rd worm from ever spawning. So when we're going to damage both worms, we're going to try to destroy both worms at relatively the same time. If we do this fast enough, we skip the cutscene from playing, and the 3rd worm never spawns in. And it appears Sasquatch is not going to attempt worm skip today. Meanwhile, Avvina is attempting to skip the entire puzzle of Watch Station, but changes her mind and goes right for a little bit of a kinetic orb skip. Oh, fun fact, if you do worm skip twice, you soft lock the entire fight. Because doing worm skip forces the last cutscene to not play, and you're going to be stuck in this battlefield arena forever. There's the key off of Dark Oasis. Not Dark Oasis, Dark Aegon Temple. Dark Oasis is next on our cleanup list. Now, it is a little bit of a journey to get to Dark Oasis, but thankfully it's worth it. And then we'll take the Sanctuary elevator off of Aegon, we'll go to Spider Side, and that'll set us up for Hive Dynamo Works. And sadly, Dark Oasis was not spawned in until we defeated Powerbomb Guardian. We had to get Powerbomb Guardian defeated first, just for this thing cache to be loaded. Oh, there we go, and we're back. Oh, sorry for the delay. It appears there's a thunderstorm in the area knocking out all the power. Oh, don't you love when that happens? Oh, gotta love unexpected storms. Oh, but either way, let's go ahead and get back to our regular scheduled programming, shall we? So, to catch everyone up, back on your right side, we've done our Dark Oasis. We've got 6 keys for Sasquatch, compared to Avvina still running a little bit low on 2. And Avvina did successful quad skip while I was gone. Well, look at that. You know, I miss all the good things with that. Yes, quad skip is a very interesting trick. Now, be careful with quad skip, though, because if you do quad skip, you can never get the Quadraxis item itself. Quad is completely gone. That item is permanently deleted. Sasquatch most likely is... Let's see. Let me see what keys we're still missing. He has everything he needs for go mode, unless he just completely forgot where the rest of the keys are. Alright, let me go and pull up my handy-dandy notebook real quick. Let's see, Trial Tunnel we've done. Under Temple is completed. Hive Dynamo Works we still have to take care of, sadly. Training Chamber, Dark Temple. So, let's see, we need Hive Dynamo Works, we need Bank Map Station. And we need War Ritual Grounds. And to answer a question about unlimited ammo. So, with unlimited ammo, we do have multiplayer items shuffled in. There are three multiplayer items that we can shuffle into the pool. We have unlimited ammo, unlimited missiles, and double damage. All 3 of which are self-explanatory. Double damage doubles your damage output. Unlimited missiles makes you fire as many missiles as you want. And unlimited beam ammo lets you fire whatever beam you want, as much as you'd like. And it appears we've lost Avvina's restream. Please bear with us as we attempt to get that back. Oh, hold on, no, we've got new developing information. It appears Avvina has actually had their game crash. That's not a freeze, that's a game crash. Oh, we have a confirmed forfeit from Avvina. Oh, that's a terrible way to go out. Oh, man, I'm sorry. That is an absolutely terrible way to end a game crash, and sadly, Avvina is not feeling well enough. So, many props to Avvina for pushing it out this long, but it appears they're having some technical difficulties with the crash due to main research. That is a well-known crash, and unfortunately, it does happen from time to time. And unfortunately, Avvina is also not feeling too well, so many well wishes to them. Props to Avvina for pushing it out this long, though. It appears Sasquatch is going to continue to finish, but with that, we do welcome Avvina for a few short words. So welcome, Avvina. That's first off, that is a terrible crash. Main research from Cat West. And we've heard that you're not feeling too well, so, you know, from all of us, we're sorry that you're feeling unwell, and we hope you get better.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, but main research is a terrible crash. That and underground tunnel at times.
Yeah. I knew I was risking it, but...
Yeah, what was the main thing you were really trying to find when as the hours kept going?
Well, so I can kind of like break it into 3 chunks. The early game was just, here's a bunch of stuff. You're probably not getting it in order if you know how to play the game, which I assume was the case for both of us. I think I read it incredibly terribly at the beginning of the seed, so that is what it is. Then I got the Seekers, and then Echo, like back to back, and I was like, okay, well, Spider's early, but it's bad early. Where could it be? And so I kept running for one-off checks. I don't know, it was probably like 35 minutes of just running around, picking up hints and hoping to luck into it. And I think it was my actual last hint in Lower Torvis that told me what I needed, or where the spider ball was. Just said it was in Sky Temple grounds. And, you know, by then I was tired, and the I don't know, the like mental effort was starting to kick in. So I was just kind of flopping around, waiting to trip over egg on key 2 so I could get my dark visor, which happened right before I crashed, and B, light suit. That's actually why I did the quad skip, was so that I could go get the cobalt and find a light suit hint, hopefully somewhere. Which is what I was about to do, and then once I knew where light suit was, it was just clean up from there. I'm not comfortable with the sync map out of bounds, so that wasn't on the table at any part. That was a really fun seed, though.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible per se. Oh, but it appears Sasquatch has just realized something. Not sure what he realized, but we'll find out. Although he is still
looking for something.
Sasquatch has everything he needs for go mode. He's got everything else except for Cobalt, but Cobalt is locked on Tumos.
Yeah.
But he has what he needs to get Tumos done, you know?
And so it's just go Tumos it up right now for Sass.
It's either Tumos for Sasquatch knows the out of bounds to bypass sync map.
Yeah. I know the out of bounds, I just don't want to.
Right. Yeah, that is a fairly difficult out of bounds.
It's not like super terrible. I know Sass is good enough to do it, but it's like
I think Sasquatch
2.5 hours in. You just like, do I really want to do that? Maybe, maybe not. I think more likely now that Sass knows I'm not gonna spend 30 something minutes picking up everything I just lost. Doesn't sound like fun anymore. You know, the point of this is to have fun.
No, I understand.
I assumed I was pretty behind. Actually, I'm less behind than I thought I was, but I still not.
You weren't terribly far.
Not ahead for sure.
Yeah, you weren't in a dire no return situation, but
Yeah.
routing sort of got you in the end.
Yeah. Where was the light suit?
On Airy.
I almost did Airy. If I would have done that, I never would have gone for Tumos. I would have just, man.
You would have done the out of bounds and just kept moving.
Well, once I had the light suit, I would have just gone for, where's my Dark Egg on Key 2? There's my Dark Visor.
Yeah, Cat West and Sentinel's Path, respectfully.
Yeah. Well, I knew that. That was what I got right before. I got Cat West, and then was like, oh, that's 2. Time to turn around.
And that appears to be exactly what Sasquatch is doing. He must have forgotten about Tumos and Cobalt, and in turn is going for quad. And I heard you pulled up a pretty good quad skip, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, my computer had no visual of it because I lost my HDMI cord, but...
So my quad skip was several minutes of struggling with getting on the quad's leg, and then everything else, easy breezy first try, let's go.
Yeah, that's the good part about quad skip.
It was when I got to quad skip, I was like, I had 2 thoughts. One was, I'm kind of done right now, and I'm playing because I feel obligated to keep playing, but I'm not having fun anymore. And 2, I realized I don't actually know how to fight the second phase of quad.
Oh, really?
I haven't done it since my first vanilla playthrough. I
Oh,
just do the quad skip every time and hope there's nothing on quad when I'm in a randomizer.
so with quad, I mean, the first phase is relatively easy.
Yeah. Blow up the legs.
Alfred Reed's joining us in the chat now with a vanilla light suit on the other race.
Amazing. I should pull up chat so I can see what they're saying. Just enjoy commentary for the rest of this race.
And so as far as quadraxis goes, step one, blow up the kneecaps with light beam or supers, whichever one works first. Phase two, using the echo visor, there's a central receiver for right on the center of the legs.
Oh yeah.
There's a little receiver on the middle. Blow that up, and then blow up the antenna on the quad module head.
Yeah, that's right.
Do it 3 times, then you move to last phase where you boost off of the leg onto the head module and a bomb slot. Although I'm curious to see if Sasquatch also decides to go for quad skip or not.
There's this pop-out chat. No, it's here somewhere. There we go. Oh yeah, I got words for that. Cannonball, boost ball, dual location. Oh, it's my fault for just getting it without checking, but come on. When is cannonball that early?
Alright, that's fair. But then again, you have such an early annihilator beam into a boost ball from Emerald off of Amber to get your dark suit to get your dark beam off of Pod W.
Yeah. I really wish I could have got that Pod W skip. Close. I was so close.
It was close, but the length of time it took for you to turn around was the big thing.
As soon as I finished turning around, I knew it was over, but maybe I'll get it. It would have been sweet if I did, though. I'm pretty sure with 3 tanks and the setup I had, that's
it's
on
risky,
the upper
but
end
it's possible.
Yeah, it's an expert level. And I don't know damage in this game, so hey, I'll take it. I also still think my quad skip was faster than doing the fight, even if it was a impressively terrible quad skip.
I just hate quad altogether. The fight itself is okay.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit lengthy at times.
My other big note was the mining station B, whatever. I missed the E-tank there and did a bomb jump to get it.
Yeah, you spent a while trying to get it.
That was really difficult. That was incredibly not easy. That felt worse than reverse bar skip in Prime 1 low percent. That was a really tight window. Alright, there's the energy for SAS. I would have assumed they would have just gone for the Zank map skip, the out of bounds, once they knew they were just on a clear the game timer. It's a lot easier if you do it slowly and patiently.
Right.
Also, apologies to everyone who has to listen to me sounding like the Predator. I'm doing my best.
Your best to sound like the Predator, or your best to not sound like it?
My best to not sound like the Predator.
Oh, you're fine. No worries at all. But either way, Sasquatch has the energy. It's time to go return at the sanctuary, and then time to keep on moving forward for the last keys.
Okay, so I probably, if I hadn't crashed, would have grabbed the dark visor and immediately went back to get Cobalt and a Morbus, which would have been a mistake. And then I would have cleaned up the Vex and Torvis, and then I would have gone hint hunting while picking up my keys and sank. And I assume there's got to be a hint for light suit and sank somewhere, which would make me really sad. So I think I would be just realizing that I have to do Airy approximately when Sasquatch would be finishing, if this had played out. It might have been closer than that.
Either way, it's still a difficult race to try to route efficiently.
Yeah, I actually kind of liked that. There were several times where I was like, oh, I messed up, and then I found the next item, and I was like, oh, well, there was no good way to do this. Like, oh, I'm just going to throw in some point of no returns. Hey, there's Annihilator, and do it again. Oh, hey, there's nothing.
And there is no way Sasquatch managed to pull off that screw attack first try. Absolutely not.
That was pretty cool.
No, there's no way. I mean, come on. The way that screw attack is done is just so precise. I'm jealous because I've never gotten it first try before. Where's Sasquatch going? Sasquatch is going for the nearest save station off of Manjaro to do a save warp to Tumos, to then get Cobalt, to then go back to the Sanctuary to get Sake Map Station. And then we can get the final key off of War Ritual Grounds, and then the other one off of Hive Dynamo.
Map, Hive Dynamo, War. Right.
Yep. 3 left to go.
I also have a confession. I technically cheated a tiny bit. Once I read the key hints, I couldn't remember which boss Under Temple was, so I asked my fiance to look up which boss was in Under Temple so I know where the key was. I was very sad when I was Powerbomb Guardian and not any of the other lower Torvis bosses. I don't like Power. Was it actually on Powerbomb Guardian or it was the free one?
That was a free one.
I got mad for nothing. I would never intentionally do Spider Guardian personally. Oh yeah, Dark Oasis. I still had to fight the boss anyway. Oh man. Brutal. I don't like any of the ball guardians in this game. Actually, they're my 3 least favorite bosses, I think. Oh, I love me a good uh, Sonic Boom. Oh, I almost died in this room. This was a tough room.
Yeah, we saw you try to go play pirate bowling, but I think you swung a little too wide and hit
I
the
did.
gunner.
Yeah, I had the 9-1 split.
Oh, the nine split is a terrible one. I mean, the 7-10 split is also a bad one.
Yeah, that's the one I had. I don't. I'm
I was about to
terrible at
say
bowling.
that
I'm terrible at bowling.
9-1, you're pretty much in a straight line at that point.
Yeah, 9-7. That's what I was thinking of.
7-10.
The one where they're really far apart.
Yeah, 7-10.
7-10. Okay. My average bowling score is in like upper 70s.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think the last time I tried to go bowling, my ball went to the lane next to us. I'm like, how do you hit the pins on the other lane, but you can't hit your own pins?
I did have once, and I am like obligated to bring this up every time bowling is brought up. I went out bowling with some new friends in college, like 10 years ago or something, and I was joking about how I'm one of the worst bowlers they'll ever meet. And I bowled like 240.
Oh, jeez.
I got like 6 or 7 strikes in a row. I'm terrible at bowling. I don't know what happened. I don't know what came over me. I don't know if it was where we went.
You sound like a pool hustler right there.
I am a pool hustler. I'm great at that game. But not bowling. Not bowling.
Clearly, I mean, you ran like face first from that phase on crate.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, we've all done it.
I love that phase on crate. It's launched me into oblivion so many times.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That and the one in the portal to the light world and labs.
Oh, I remember that one.
I remembered it this time. Actually, killed it before I got there.
At least you remembered it, though.
Secret half pipe. Gotta love it.
Oh, yeah, let's just take a secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
I don't think I've ever been hacked in Morph Ball before. That's crazy. Right when I walked here, I almost went to Airy. I was like, man, I should do Airy. I have already been punished twice this tournament by not going to Airy when it became available. And I was like, you know what, there's no way Airy is going to have progression again, is it? That was not very smart. After I'd been playing Risky all day too. Yeah, of course it did. Was Krar in here?
Oh, yeah.
I bet they were. Yeah, look at that. At least I got to see Airy finally. Krar missed it.
Yeah, K-Row was here for a majority of the race. Then once he left, that's when Sasquatch went for Airy.
Oh.
So K-Row did curse it. He still cursed it.
Cursed it by leaving, honestly. I'm gonna go on mute for a sec. My fiance just got some food. Gonna eat some of it, but I'll come back here in a bit.
Alrighty, well, we finally got the Hive key from Hive Dynamo Works. One more key remains off of War Ritual Grounds, and then we can call this race over. Well, we've got just about another 15 minutes of gameplay left. Next step, we're just going to take a save warp back to main energy. Take the nearest elevator to meeting grounds to go into Sky Temple Gateway, grab War Ritual Grounds, and then fight the Emperor Ring. Oh, this has been a long one.
Alright, Marion, I've made it back from my cheeseburger.
Alrighty then.
You are not alone. If you need a break, take it.
Oh, it's just been a long 3 hours, Savina. I mean, you know personally, it's...
I do know it's been a very long 3 hours. It's
the
also hard to do it solo.
It's just a constant talking and talking and talking. You know, I enjoy it. I love being in the booth.
Yeah.
But it's difficult sometimes to keep the commentary flowing when there's just not much to really commentate on or talk about.
Especially, yeah, and echoes with cleanup can be an hour.
The route itself is set. There's no deviating from it. There's one clear answer on how to go.
Yeah.
So
we're going to... I don't know what the last key is.
We're going to War Ritual Grounds to then...
And then final bosses, yep.
That's it. That's all we have left.
Well, when we get to the final bosses, there's somewhere between 3 and 5 of them, depending on who you ask. Honestly, somewhere between 2 and 5 of them. We've got Emperor Ing 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 are auto-scrollers, kind of, but they're like really hard auto-scrollers that can be super optimized. Emperor Ing 3 has bracelets on his ankles that don't exist but still take damage. Dark Samus 3 is a myth. And Dark Samus 4 is what we're going to joke about in a little bit when we say center. Probably the best summation of the final bosses of this game anyone's ever had. Don't at me, please, because I know. I will also preemptively apologize if I cough without muting my mic in time. It's a pretty violent cough still. I feel awesome comparatively now, but life is life. Good old safety save here. Always a good call. Big refill. And here we go to EI1. We've got, in this fight, one big glowing eyeball with blast shields straight out of Halo 3 for some reason. We're probably going to do the Annihilator strat, right? Now we're going to do, well, yeah, light pain to shoot the tentacles, then comes out the eyeball. We're doing super missiles. Alright, it's 4 super missiles. The timing is a little tight, but it's not terrible. It is terrible if you miss the turnaround like that or get hit by a laser, so this is going to be a 2 cycle. At this point, yeah. Oh, damn. So you can do a bomb jump and a power bomb here to skip this. Standing not in the phase on is probably a good idea, though I guess light suit and infinite health makes it fine. 2 more power bombs gets us to phase 2. They're power bombs, super missiles. Ah, the lasers. This fight is really incredibly rude if you haven't practiced it a bunch. So this is not like a knock on Sasquatch's knowledge or skill. I would probably have a fight that looked worse than this myself. There we go. One more super. This fight's over. There we go. So yeah, 2 is coming up here. It's a big ball with a bunch of these little pustules on it. You gotta get them to come out of the tentacles come out of the little shells, drop some bombs. Oh, Sask didn't get a single power bomb drop from the pods right before this fight. That's terrible. So yeah, they're having to do this the frustratingly slow way by baiting out the tentacles and then just regular bombing them. There's a power bomb. Oh, no, that wasn't. I've been playing too much Prime. I thought that purple glow was a power bomb.
Oh, you're fine.
This fight is not like an auto-scroller when you don't have power bombs. I mean, this part of it, anyway. There we go. Now, these are the ankle bracelets we need to do something about. You don't want to do that when he charges like that.
Yeah, so basically there was meant to be an additional damage step with Emperor Ring, where he grew armor, and that armor could be destroyed by screw attack. Well, the developers decided to remove the armor stage, but they left the screw attack hitbox in the game's code. So because that hitbox is still active, Emperor Ring can still take damage from screw attack against said hitbox.
The best part is that the hitbox isn't even necessarily around his legs, it's just like vaguely underneath him. That was going to be the freest phase of that fight.
Pretty much.
You get a free save and health refill after that fight ends, so things are good for Sasquatch. And do we expect a center? Chat?
Yeah, I'd say so with how everything's been going.
I always bet on a center, just because I know I'm unlucky. And I want my pain to fall upon other people too. And by unlucky, I mean not very good at this game. Dark beam strats, get down to the S, a couple more shots. It's a little high, but it's fine. still get the setup working. Yep, we're centered. So here, Dark Samus has, what, 3 moves? One of them is the pellets, which you can fire back. One of them is just like a beam, which you gotta dodge. And one of them is getting down onto the floor and dancing with you for no reason. And yeah, Power Bomb here is what you want to, or I keep saying Power Bomb instead of Super Missile. The thing that does a lot of damage here is what you want to do. That's the goal. Get Samus to immediately jump back up and fire more pellets. And I think this one should do... No. We got one more down phase. Even Dark Samus suffers from down, unfortunately. And even when Dark Samus downs, it still slows down the player playing. We're upset with all downs. That should do it right there.
That's time.
Congratulations, Sasquatch, on beating me.
Yep,
That's a rare
GG.
commentary call out. Hopefully, Sass
that
will
was-
join us.
That was rough.
It wasn't even that bad of a seed. It was just like a really slow one.
Yeah, backtracking was a terrible thing today.
Yeah. And then, like, Dark Visor being the last major progression is kind of not okay. Hello. Congratulations.
Hello.
Oh, that one was rough.
So before anything, I think you still would have won if I hadn't crashed and I'd played it out. I am reasonably certain I would have forgotten that Dark Oasis has a layer I need to change, and would have got my STK and then left and would have been really confused later. Maybe it would have been close. I don't know. Maybe I would have remembered that. I don't know, but I don't think I would have. And I think you definitely were ahead of me when I came in here and saw where you were at already. So you definitely won fair and square. Don't feel like that crash was anything. You definitely deserve to win.
If you don't mind me asking, where did you crash?
Well, if you click, oh, it's not showing it very well.
Main research.
Main research, yeah. I was on my Aegon Key 2 for Dark Visor, and also where is Light Beam Hunt. That was all I needed to finish, and did not load the room correctly. And got the good old main research crash right after getting quad skip and mentally joking about how if I fail quad skip, I should probably just give up because I'm losing like 45 minutes of progress or something because I hadn't saved before I went into sync or even in sync. Then I got quad skip, walked out, got my Cat West key, turned around, main research.
Gotcha.
Now let's take a look here. What do we have on the notes for today? Now your SDKs, that's always a good one to start off with. Key locations weren't terrible. Main Sank map station, Dark Aegon Temples, we had to fight a Morbus. And then having to get the Cobalt off of Tumos of all places.
Yeah, the sync map was the funny one.
No, it was relatively early. Early went fine. You had your power bombs on Temple Assembly site. Your boost ball was early to lead into an Annihilator beam. Screw attack was on Hype Chamber B, which was practically free. I mean, early game was loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said a couple minutes ago, late Dark Visor is just unpleasant. There's so many times you go somewhere and you're like, oh yeah, there's just like a wall here instead of a door. That's awesome. Stank entrance, thank you very much. Really, this is also something I said a bit ago. I've been hearing comms for a while. Sasquatch, I watched your whole cleanup from about right before you started quad. My experience early game was, wow, there's a million ways to route this wrong and you'll still get rewarded for it. And then mid-game, it was, I have Seekers and Echo, and I know where that's pointing me, but they're spider locked, and I haven't found Spider Ball, so I just started doing point of no returns for like 45 minutes until I finally made it back to Profane Path. I don't remember where Spider was, but that was a huge chunk of the game for me. And then after that, it was just bash my wall and sank to try to find Light Suit and Dark Visor and the Aegon keys.
Yeah, my early game was kind of interesting because I grabbed the space jump and then immediately went and did Temple Grounds loop.
That's what I did.
And I got that cannonball and I was like, well,
Oh, that's exactly what I did.
I was like, well, I could play aggressive to try and keep the cannonball and not do the Dark Aegon Jump Guardian loop. So I went directly into labs. Didn't find anything, so went and did the Jump Guardian loop and such. And then I'm already feeling behind at that point, so it's like, trying to remember where everything was. Let's see, Annihilator was in Windchamber Gateway. And the boost.
Yeah, I almost went into labs. I actually almost, I did the majority of forgetting that I hadn't opened the gate to get to Portal Chamber the back way. And then was like, well, I just can't go that way. What am I doing, from the safe station? And then there I was just like, all right, Cannonball's gone. And that's when I did the Dark Loop. But as soon as I saw the Dark Suit, I had like a premonition or something. I was like, okay, there's definitely my Dark Beam or Annihilator Beam to get me that Dark Suit in Portal Chamber A or whatever room that is with the boost on the light side. Went there and it was the visor that led to the visor. And that's when I went back and immediately got Annihilator. And from there I was just like spider hunting for a million years.
Gotcha. So I got light beam, I remember, and then I did Spider's Treasure
Jump
without
Guardian,
Spider
yeah.
for some reason.
I also did
But it
that.
turned out okay. And
Yes.
then I think at that point we had Amber and Emerald.
Amber was in the portal
Half pipe.
chamber,
Yeah.
half pipe room, and then Emerald was in sand cache. It
Yeah.
was just like bam, bam.
So from there, I went back to Temple Grounds and I was like, well, I could keep playing aggressive and headed towards Torvis, and then stopped at Plane of Dark Worship, got the Dark Beam on the way, and then played into Torvis, and then those supers were right there. So it's like, okay, now I feel really good about this.
I actually I stopped at Plane of Dark Worship, so I got Annihilator probably before you, from what I'm hearing. Marion can correct that. But then I went and did Spider's Treasure and pretty much all of Labs, which was a waste of my time, obviously. And from there I went to Planet Dark Worship, and I had just got... I had Annihilator, but I hadn't got the Dark Suit yet. So I nearly got it suitless. I did die, and then I went back and grabbed the Dark Suit and went back and got my Dark Beam.
Okay. I grabbed Annihilator first pass. I did the Wind Chamber dashes.
I didn't even check Wind Chamber yet, because I did that super early. I didn't have Emerald yet. Honestly, I think I got Space Jump and then turned around and went and did the GFMC loop right at the start.
Yeah, same.
And did not come back there until I had everything.
Yeah, I think Emerald hints are what bailed me out.
They kind of bailed me out too, honestly.
I got
Once
those
I went
Emerald
to Torvis,
hints.
I was just like, I'm getting all of these. This is great.
Yeah, because I did the Emerald hints, and I was like, okay, I need to go back for Echo. Came across Seekers
I
on
did
the
have
way.
Echo and Seekers already when I was getting my Emerald hints.
Gotcha. Yeah, my Emerald hints pointed me towards the Echo, and then found Seekers on the way. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And then the hint that a ball was in Sky Temple grounds. I was like, okay, Profane Path. We'll just route that in.
Profane Path, that was it, yeah. Yeah, that was nearly a last location for me on the Spider Ball. I got to the point where I could get hints, and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm getting Spider Ball. I know it's ahead of these Seekers that I'm holding and something else. It's like I can go a lot of places, but I'm not without the Spider Ball. That's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. And I think my actual last hint was the Spider Ball in Sky Temple. I was like, awesome, thanks.
Yeah, and then from there, I kind of just, after all those hints, I just kind of got what I knew about, and then went for Aegon keys and that Dark Visor.
Yeah, that Dark Visor 2 rooms from Aegon 2 was... I don't know if that or the Spider Ball hint was bigger, but those were both huge hints.
Yeah.
No matter how you play it, there's a good chance you forget either of those items, and those hints are going to bail you out. The Annihilator hint was also awesome. That was Sync, Transport Access, whatever that room's called.
Mm-hmm.
TTS.
And then I think from there, I felt like my cleanup was okay until I forgot that hive keys are not required. And then I extended my cleanup by full clearing.
Yeah, overall, it's just a headache sometimes.
Yeah,
But
there was
in
a
the
lot
end,
of.
did y'all have fun? Had a good time?
Up until my crash, I was having a lot of fun. I guess it's more accurate to say I stopped having fun shortly before my crash. But that was not an unpleasant seed. There was bad parts, but they were interesting and fun bad parts. You know.
I do feel like I enjoyed the seed to the extent where you go everywhere.
Yeah.
Not a jet seed where you're in go mode in the first 45 minutes to an hour. It
Yeah,
actually expects you to explore the game, which I definitely enjoyed.
did a really good job in the early game of like slowing it down and making it so that you were getting rewards when you just like threw out a random point of no return, but also not being free at the same time.
Mhm.
There's a lot of interesting thinking and decisions to make, and you were generally rewarded for whatever decision you made. It was an awesome early game. Mid game was not completely barren, which is usually my complaint about Echoes, is that you get everything early and then you do nothing for 2 hours and then you finish.
Mhm.
And then the late game
The-
cleanup was terrible.
Yeah. The missile launcher threw me for a loop a little bit.
Oh, I never found that, or at least I don't remember finding it.
It was in Phase on Grounds.
Yeah, I did not pick that up. That's funny. That's really funny. We had so much potential for bad things to happen. They hadn't given us missiles before that.
Yeah.
Imagine if all those missiles are just replaced with like energy or whatever.
Yeah, that would have been interesting start.
That would have been pretty fun.
Well, either way, I think it's time we start wrapping up our program for the night. We can't hold speed gaming for forever now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think another one of our races needs this channel here in like half an hour.
Now they got transferred to Speed Gaming 1.
Good for them.
They
That's the
got
first
transferred.
beginning.
But other than that, Avvina, Sasquatch, thank you for putting on such an amazing show for us today. It's been a pleasure watching both of you go head to head for a long time. And it's even though it's a terrible seed, sometimes we get some headaches. But as long as we have fun, that's the best part about it. If you have a
Yeah.
good time, if you enjoy it, then no matter what happens, it was worth it. So let me see, where did I put my list at for the bracket? So Avina, that was the first round of losers brackets. We're gonna see what happens in round 2. Sasquatch, as for your next match, you'll be going against Dacian.
Oh, I'm out. There is no see what happens.
Well, I mean, we can always see what happens in the next stage. See if we get anything worse for the seed.
Yeah. But yeah, good luck,
Sasquatch, but
Sass.
you've
Shout
got
out.
Dacian, so it's gonna be a fun time.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. But with that being said, everyone, thank you for joining us here at Speed Gaming today for the continuation of our Echoes tournament.
Interrupt with a big shout out to all the people organizing. You're awesome. You're doing great. That's
Absolutely.
All. Continue.
Yeah. You're fine. The folks who put this on, from the Speed Gaming volunteers to the Metroid Prime community and the Randomizer developers, without the combined help of everyone, and of course everyone at home who volunteers and decides to watch and provide support over the years,
Commentates half of the races.
it's how we're able to provide such a fantastic quality of a show, even though Echoes compared to everything else isn't too popular, but it's a fun time nonetheless.
It's a great game.
Absolutely. But with that, we're going to close off our program for tonight. We've been here a little too long. We gotta get Speed Gaming up for whatever else is on the list. So, real quick, for anyone interested, we have one final race happening tonight before we move on to round 2. Tonight at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern, in roughly 30 minutes from now, Nestrada versus M. Collier. with Rico and another commentator who's yet to be approved, with one runner's agreement of a new patcher. That'll be interesting to see. I mean, new patcher is always full of fun. Early game routing can be troublesome with the new patcher. But until then, if you'd like to keep up to date with the randomizing community, the Metroid Prime Randomizer in general, or more information in regards to the Mentor tournament or the bracket, you can find our schedule and Discord links posted below on the first bot link. You can follow both runners if you'd like to keep up to date with any of their performance. Yeah, if you two stream, by all means, it's a good way to keep up to date with them. But until then, remember to stay safe, have a fantastic weekend, have a wonderful rest of the work week, since Monday's right around the corner. But until then, we'll see you next mission.
Monday's my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
And good luck to the rest of the runners with your quads. Hopefully you don't have to fight them and can skip them.
Well, if it's Reed, you know you're going to have a required quad. That's 5 in a row.
And we'll see you next mission.
Yep. See you next mission. Take care, everyone.
You too.
See ya.